Hi, hello. Welcome to another episode of Isaiah's Newsstand. It's your host, Isaiah Edwards. The date is June 21st, 2023. Hopefully, this episode finds you well, in good spirits, and high hopes. As for me, doing pretty good. Overall, I'm feeling pretty good, so that's a plus. Check, check. I guess you could say health corner. I am overall feeling a lot better. My throat is feeling good. Throat goat is back. But overall, just, really no more scratches. Had like a little bit of a cough cluster at work. I was like, oh, is it? Oh, am I? But I just drank some more water and we're good. So overall, I think we're back. I think it's safe to say that we're back. That being said, not too much is going on. We're just chilling, surviving. Work was good. I feel like, fingers crossed, knock on wood, I'm getting some more OT, and I'd like to see more regular OT, which means better checks, more better rate of survival. So yeah, I feel like things are good in that way, in that regard. That being said, my dogs are barking. My feet are back in that hurt era. So it is a blessing and a curse, a give and a take. I gotta up my Advil count, so that's always fun. That's always yummy. But we're doing all right overall. Okay. Onto the food corner. Sadly, not too much to report. That being said, it was treat day at work. The slop of the day was the cone, and I am obviously just very jaded. I know. I am very thankful to be able to get little treats. It's just one of those things when you think about the scale of things in your company, and you go, oh, they waste all this time and money on these catering things or whatever. But really, we would all just take either one, better insurance. Not that my insurance is bad; it's one of the better things about my job. But you could always make it better, and or just better pay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, those are things I think about. Um, that being said, it was the cone, nice little ice cream place that comes through and caters for us for the day. They do ice cream. They also do other things that I don't touch but are good, like frozen. I was about to say frozen ice. Oh my gosh, take me out the game, Shotty. Shaved ice is what I was trying to say. Which it's good. It's a yum thing. I just don't like eating that anymore. But I just got my usual little chocolate vanilla swirl. But I guess the new add-on that I tried, and this was just by happenstance because they didn't have my OG M&Ms, but they had a caramel cold brew yeah, I think it was caramel cold brew M&Ms, which I gotta say that is a very weird like flavor to come up with. But that being said, they were very good. Actually, better than the caramel M&Ms. The caramel M&Ms, I always feel like just the mouth texture of them, they're like weirdly dense, and I don't like it. But these were a different kind of caramel situation. It really did taste like coffee, so I would recommend them. I would give it like we'll say seven. No, 7, flat 7. I don't want to give it anything above 7 because I feel like I'm putting like M&M pretzels at like an 8. Those are like probably my favorite. Maybe normal M&Ms are like 7.5. Yeah, I don't want to give M&Ms a 9. Let's not get carried away. But that's the food corner. That's pretty much all we got in the personal news sphere. So we can go and get into some news. Let's see. Let's go ahead and start off with Palestine, Israel. Yeah, let's just get to the hard stuff. From CNN, Palestinian villagers attacked in wake of Israeli settler killings. Palestinian official says. Now I gotta say, this is a harder one to tackle when it comes to just the conflict in terms of just untangling everything. So I just want to say in advance, like, hey, if I get anything wrong or what have you, I'm sorry. Once again, this is why I always reference the articles. So it's like, hey, if I fudge things up, you can always have a good source and reference to kind of check yourself and educate yourself, and we can all get on the same page. And hey, you can even help me out with some corrections. But let's go ahead and start reading. Granted, I do feel like I might have to bounce around on this article, But hundreds of Israeli settlers attacked the Palestinian village of Termuzia in the occupied West Bank on Wednesday, the day after the killing of 4 settlers nearby, according to the mayor of the village. One Palestinian man was killed, the Palestinian Ministry of Health said. Palestine TV named him as Omar Quatain, 27. Now, there's been a lot of activity. I mean, this is kind of a constant ongoing thing. That's why they call it a conflict. But a lot of just like tit for tat, either between like the IDF or between settlers and Palestinians in the West Bank. And I kind of realized too, I feel like I'm not 100% sure. Like we've covered the conflict before in different stages, different parts. But I do think something I kind of haven't focused on too much are like the aspect of the Israeli settlers who are more or less trying to, in their regard, in their perspective, if I'm getting it right, just like reclaim the land or get the land that they are entitled to. Like this is land by quote unquote law that is theirs, and there are Palestinians who are squatting on it. You know, they have, you know, their living situation and they're there and they're just in the way according to these settlers. And in a lot of ways, from what I'm seeing and from how I would, you know, call it, is they harass the, you know, Palestinians who are living in this area, and they beat these people, you know, either like coming up to their home, you know, it's just literally physically just coming up and assaulting them. And this just can go back and forth. And obviously, if you're a Palestinian living in this area, you want to fight back, you want to retaliate. But a lot of times in the situation, you can't, because literally there will be like Israeli soldiers supervising the whole situation. So this has been going on for a very long time. It has led to a lot of back and forth, and there's been deaths on both sides, which has led to an escalation in violence. It's even gotten so bad as there was like a drone strike sent by the IDF. So essentially, like a drone with a mounted weapon, I believe, literally going over the area and like actually shooting and killing people. So I think that was something that really escalated things even further, because this is something that just does not happen very often. And I think it's for good reason. Like, obviously, it's just very cruel and just like it's a devastating thing to do. Literally, like it's you know, we've talked about the RoboCop shit before. It is on that level of sending a drone into an area and just killing people, just mowing them down. And you're saying, well, this is in defense of this, that, whatever. But it is something that is going to get attention too, and I think that's why it's not done. Because I really do feel like when it comes to Israel, like they're just not, they want what they want done. You know what I mean? Like they are occupying this area, and for them, this is all justified. That's not something I feel like I agree with, and obviously maybe there are people on the other side of the conversation who say, Isaiah, you're out of pocket with that statement, but that is just how I feel when I come back to this area and I come back to these stories. It just feels like you guys are oppressing these people, and then you get mad when they fight and they do what they do. And but yeah, I mean, it's just been a lot of that in this area. We can go ahead and read a little bit from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, something we've talked about a lot on this podcast. He insisted Wednesday that his country was a nation of laws in the wake of the settler attacks, in which, like, we're talking about, like, the settlers harassing Palestinians over land that, once again, they feel like is theirs. But at the same time, too, you also have, you know, what's his name? Ben Gvir or whatever the fuck his name is. I can't find his name right now. But essentially he's saying, like, hey, you guys shouldn't be caught unawares or flat-footed. You should have protection. You should have weapons to protect yourself. You should be ready. But that kind of rhetoric is like very veiled of like, no, you should be arming yourself to take back what's yours. Like that's just, I feel like that is more or less what you are trying to say without fucking saying it. But yeah, I mean, let's see. They have more background here. They do talk about a situation that took place in February in the village of Huwara, which was the killing of two Israeli brothers in the village, which did, sparked more violence in the area, from Israeli settlers and things of that nature, on the Palestinian people. Let's see. Another thing I wanted to cover is they did go in this area and literally raze it in terms of just like vehicles, cars, homes, like everything was burned, beat up. Like, and this is where Palestinian people are living. And to like come out and see like, obviously your house destroyed and your car is like on like a heap on fire. Like your life is literally turned upside down. Like there's just no stability. And that is by design by the, Israeli people, it feels like, or at least for the Israeli government. So yeah, I mean, I'm obviously not doing this whole situation justice. I'm kind of just blobbing a picture here for you. But this was some big news. It's a lot of loss of life. I'm not even getting into all the details of it. There's like, it's just so much. That's why I find it very hard to come back to these conflicts, but I know that I have to. It's just part of what I'm doing here. It's important coverage. So I do try to do my best here. But yeah, I if you are curious, the article is there, and I would love to have like conversation and discussion about this stuff. I do try to reach out to my friends who are in the know, who are even potentially affected, just because, family, things of that nature. And I do like learning, one way or another. So, yeah, it is just something I like to have out as a conversation. It's why I like to do the coverage, because I do feel like it's important to put a spotlight on it. But yeah, we're going to move on to some other news from the BBC. Paris explosion. More than 30 injured after blast. Let's see here. 37 people have been injured, 4 of them seriously, after a large explosion in central Paris. Excuse me. The blast took place in a building that housed a design school in the Catholic education system headquarters in the Rue Saint... I'm going to get this wrong. The Rue Saint Jacques in the 5th arrondissement of the French capital. Emergency workers are searching through the wreckage of the building, with at least 2 thought to be missing. Now, I haven't heard of any loss of life yet. Granted, as of, what is this, Hump Day, Wednesday, this is breaking news, so I'm not, sure where this is all going to shake out. What happened. I know there was a strong smell of gas in the area, according to witnesses, but, we don't know if this is some kind of leak that led to a big explosion, or if this was like some planned thing. I don't want to speculate. But yeah, obviously, crazy situation to just, see pictures of Paris with like smoke plumes coming out of it. You know what I mean? That's not very Eiffel Tower. So, yeah, figured, hey, we'll go ahead and cover that. There's more pictures on the BBC article, as well as, I put in a little thumbnail for you too. All right, go ahead and move along here. Another thing I picked up, actually, I did pick this up today, but it was published, I believe, as of yesterday. But from Unilad, a 5-year-old has been killed as YouTubers crash a Lamborghini they were driving for a 50-hour challenge video. This took place in Rome, Italy, on the 14th of June. A 5-year-old was traveling as a passenger in a smart 4x4 car. I imagine that's just like a smart car by the look of it, just like maybe a little bit different model. But the child, named locally as Manuel Priotti, was sat in the vehicle when it was struck by the Lamborghini Urus SUV. Now, it is not confirmed yet. That's still a part of the investigation of like how fast the Lamborghini was going, but apparently they were just this was just like a part of a YouTube challenge for cruising 50 hours without stopping. So let's see, 4 people were in the Lamborghini at the time of the crash. The YouTubers are the Borderline, and the channel is led by Matteo Di Pietro. So, I mean, obviously, it's very sad. It's very unfortunate. I'm very curious to see how the investigation is going to go. I initially kind of thought, and especially kind of just the little bit of the wording of the article, I was like, oh man, like maybe they were driving fast and reckless. And I'm not familiar with the Borderlines content. I didn't look them up as of this recording. But yeah, like obviously I just don't want to speculate too hard or anything like that. But at the same time, looking at the damage of the car accident, I don't know. It doesn't look like maybe responsible driving was at hand. And I mean, you're doing a 50-hour drive or 50-hour drive without stopping. Very possible that maybe something happened here that led to the accident. Definitely something I want to try to keep updates up with. But yeah, it's just like obviously very sad ass situation. They what is it the deals with anger on social media. The Borderline took to YouTube to share a statement on the matter. It was titled 14/06/2023. The translated statement reads: The Borderline expressed to the family the most sincere and deepest pain. What happened has left everyone marked with a deep wound. Nothing will ever be the same again. The idea of Borderline was to offer young people entertainment with a wholesome spirit. The tragedy has happened. That happened is so profound that it makes it morally impossible for us to continue this path. The post continued. Therefore, the Borderline group stopped all activity with this last message. Our only thought is for Manuel. But the lawyer has denied, Di Pietro's lawyer and uncle Francesco Consalvi denied allegations that the crash was caused by the Lamborghini undertaking a reckless maneuver and claimed the vehicle was traveling between 60 and 80 kilometers or 37 to 50 miles per hour. Excuse me. But like I said, there is an investigation on going in terms of like, was this dangerous driving? Was the driver being reckless? So yeah, I mean, obviously, like this is a very fucked up situation. Making content, hey, I'm all for it. Obviously, I'm making content right now. I'm putting shit on YouTube myself. I'm something of a YouTuber myself. But obviously, when you're doing things in the name of for entertainment, like there should never be a situation where your life is on the line or people's lives are on the line, especially people outside of the project. You know what I'm saying? Like that's obviously very fucked up. So if they were doing something like untoward here, like driving recklessly, they were doing their Fast and Furious shit, then like that's fucked up. That's completely uncalled for. That's completely unnecessary. And there should be, they should be, charged to the full extent of the law, in my opinion, for sure. But, I don't know. There's definitely something to untangle here for sure. And I'm curious to see how it's going to unfold. All right, we got one more thing to cover. Actually, no. Let me segue a little bit here before I charge up. A bit of an update. I'm not gonna like link an article or anything like that, but on the submarine shit, with the Titanic, expedition gone wrong. Still fucked. Still, the shit's still scary. We haven't found any submarine yet. That being said, I have heard, no pun intended, I guess, whatever. We mean all the puns. But there was banging that was heard, I believe, by the sonar buoys. So maybe there is a chance that they might locate the submarine soon, which would be good. But kind of the bad news here is that we're definitely like running out of time. It is believed that in the best case scenario, they have until maybe tomorrow, as like, Thursday, until they run out of oxygen. So, things are still looking pretty dire, but there is still a chance. So, we're obviously holding out hope. If you're the praying type, by all means. Obviously, there's been a bit of a discourse because, Have Crisis will travel in terms of the meme community, in terms of shitposting community. So that's a thing. And people are, a bit upset about that. But obviously, there are people who are like, yeah, eat the rich, fuck it. These motherfuckers paid $250K to potentially see the Titanic because this shit is so rickety. It's literally on like a fucking Logitech Mad Cax PlayStation Xbox controller, whatever the fuck. It's a loose scenario. Not to mention, people were warned about the safety, like the Open Gate, company. So I mean, I think it's just one of those situations where people aren't super sympathetic to the situation, and I do think that's it's understandable. That being said, I'm sure deep down people do want to see something, a good thing happen here. Maybe some might say a miracle. But yeah, a little bit of a tangent there, but we do have one more thing to cover. Let me go ahead and do my duty. Let me take my break, and then we'll go ahead and finish this off. All right, and we're back. This last one comes from The Verge. FTC sues Amazon for tricking customers into signing up for Prime. The Federal Trade Commission is suing Amazon. Ooh, getting the visions. The Federal Trade Commission is suing Amazon for enrolling customers in its Prime program without their consent and making it difficult for them to cancel their subscriptions. In its complaint filed Wednesday, the FTC accuses Amazon of knowingly deceiving millions of customers into subscribing to Amazon Prime through the use of dark patterns. Specifically, the FTC describes how Amazon's checkout process would allegedly present customers several options to subscribe to Prime, making it difficult to locate the option to simply finish a purchase. The commission also alleges that Amazon required customers to go through multiple unnecessary steps before successfully unsubscribing from the program. Let's see. So, I mean, I, for one, am down for this. I support this. That being said, you definitely got to be careful when it comes to fucking with any company, especially online, because they will always try to clickbait you, rope you into any fucking thing. But I like that the FCC has taken a stance as of lately to clamp down on this behavior by companies. Now, I think there's totally a chance that, like, while Amazon is kind of talking tough, saying, like, oh, we think these charges are false, there's no merit to them, yada, 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 they could easily settle this out, and say, hey, whatever, mea culpa, here's some money. I don't know. I do think, though, you always got to be vigilant. I know for myself, whenever I am fucking with Kindle, which is like an Amazon product, sometimes they'll give me a promo to be like, hey, we miss you. We want you to read a book. So, like, here's a token. Obviously, that means that I have to, like, re-sign up, which means that I'm reactivating my credit card with them. And if I'm not careful, they will definitely charge me come the next month for another token for another book. So I have to be careful and then go through the whole process where they're like, okay, so why do you want to unsubscribe with us? What's up with that? Like, were there any problems? Like, they ask you like several questions when really it should just be like, hey, I'm done. I'm good to go. But granted, I don't know. As a customer in the digital wild, I've definitely seen worse. Now, I haven't fucked with Amazon Prime specifically, The one time I was using Amazon Prime, it was via a friend. So that was nice. That was sweet. I was able to watch The Boys for free. But yeah, I do think that this kind of behavior, the use of dark patterns, new term for me, I do think that's pretty predatory. I would like companies to just be straight up. And I know Amazon thinks that like people are so fucking juiced to fucking have Amazon Prime, but I don't know. I don't like paying, which I believe like $100 or so annually for, I don't know. It gives you like a bunch of shit, right? Like it gives you like fast like shipping or whatever. You get access to Amazon Prime TV. Some other random ass perks I think come with it too. But you shouldn't be looped into it just from like trying to buy something on Amazon. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm trying to buy my Crocs. I'm not trying to get roped into Prime here. You feel me? So yeah, that's more or less what we got. I will definitely keep you posted if there is a settlement or does go to, the what is it, the lawsuit trial phase, whatever. But yeah, that's all we got for today. I thank you so much for tuning in. I do have to, shill just a little bit, but I do want to say thank you. I know that this isn't, professional news commentary, casting, whatever, but I appreciate you hanging out and listening to me rant and ramble for some minutes at a time and, coming back again for more. You're crazy for that, bestie. Thank you so much. That alone is great. But if you'd like to help further, support the cause further, I do have a Patreon. Patreon.com, so Isaiah News. Get you access to old bonus content. But more importantly, you become a newsie. With newsie status, I say your name once a month if you'd like. Also, if you'd like, I plug a project, creative thing you're doing. Essentially, you turn me into like a little billboard for you. So that's a thing. Something I do for my newsies. Gang shit. But free ways to hit me up. IsaiahNews1@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram. If you're listening on YouTube, thank you so much. You're awesome. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell. Yeah, do that. Hit the thumbs up. Leave a comment. We love that. We love all of that. If you're an Apple listener, that's cool too. We love you. Obviously, this is more Spotify. We're more Spotify pilled. But, thanks for listening on Apple. That's dope. I know you're out there. Leave a review, maybe. Think about that. Hopefully it's a good review, maybe. Think about that, maybe. And you can do that for Spotify, too. So, yeah, there's so many ways to support and be further entrenched, get more parasocial with me. But, yeah, that's all I have for today. Hopefully I see you soon for some more good news. I love ya. Bye-bye. Mwah.